If you've ever tossed a 10-cent coin into a jar without a second thought, you might want to rethink that habit, because some Australian 10-cent coins are actually worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And in this video, we're going to explore exactly which ones and why. Starting with the basics, the value of coins comes down to a few key factors: rarity or low mintage, errors or misstrikes during the minting process, historical significance, and overall condition or grade, especially when uncirculated or in proof condition. One of the most famous and highly sought-after 10-cent coins is the 1966 Wavy Baseline variety. This coin, minted during the year Australia transitioned to decimal currency, features a small but significant anomaly. The base of the number 2 in 20 on the reverse side of the coin has a slight wave instead of a straight line. This design, quirk, which occurred in a limited number of coins struck at the Canberra Mint, created a numismatic legend. With only a small number of these coins entering circulation, they are now extremely rare and valuable, selling for anywhere between $200 and $400 in circulated condition and potentially over $2,000 if uncirculated or in pristine condition. To identify it, you'll need to look closely at the tail side of the coin and check for a ripple or curve in the base of the 2. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe will make this much easier. Next, there's the lesser-known but still valuable 1981 Canadian minted 10-cent coin. Due to high demand that year, Australia outsourced some coin production to the Royal Canadian Mint, resulting in coins that exhibit slight physical differences, such as deeper and longer rim denticles, the small ridges on the coin's edge, and a different metallic finish. These Canadian varieties aren't as rare as the Wavy 2, but collectors value them for their uniqueness, and they can fetch anywhere from $20 to $50 depending on their condition. Then we have the 1995 double bar 10-cent coin, which is notable for showing 2 parallel raised lines just behind the lyrebird's tail feathers on the reverse side of the coin. These bars are thought to be caused by die wear or clashes, and while not considered a full error by all numismatists, they're recognized as a collectible variety and can command $3 to $10 in circulated condition, with prices reaching $50 or more for coins in mint state. These examples highlight how even small differences in design or production can dramatically influence a coin's value. Beyond everyday circulation coins, there's also significant potential in mint and proof sets, particularly those produced in the earlier years of decimal currency. For instance, a 1970 proof set may only cost $25 to $30 on the market, but the individual 10-cent coin within it, untouched and in its original pristine state, could be worth just as much by itself. To a collector seeking a high-grade example, proof coins are struck with specially prepared dies on polished blanks, resulting in highly detailed and mirror-like finishes that are prized for their quality. If you've inherited coin collections or happen to pick up mint sets at garage sales or online auctions, these are definitely worth a closer look. As we've seen, even tiny details, like a wave at the base of a number, longer edge ridges, or faint lines behind a bird's feathers, can turn a simple 10-cent piece into a sought-after collectible. It's a good reminder that numismatics is as much about attention to detail as it is about history and rarity. Always be sure to handle your coins carefully to preserve their condition. Avoid cleaning them, store them in protective holders, and consider having more valuable finds professionally graded if you're thinking of selling. In the next part of this video series, we'll look at even more hidden gems in your change, such as error coins like off-center strikes, die cracks, and cud breaks that can dramatically increase a coin's worth. We'll also discuss the rare 2001 centenary 10-cent coin, dive into how to grade your coins at home, and give you tips on what collectors look for when making purchases. So if you're even a little bit curious about whether your spare change could be worth a lot more than face value, now that we've covered some of the most well-known, rare, and valuable 10-cent coins, it's time to dive deeper into the fascinating world of error coins, special editions, and the kinds of minute details that can turn ordinary-looking pocket change into a collector's prize. One type of coin that collectors love hunting for are error coins, which are essentially mistakes made during the minting process. Think misaligned dies, off-center strikes, cud breaks, extra lumps of metal, and die cracks that create unintentional raised lines across the coin's surface. Among Australian 10-cent coins, off-center strikes are particularly popular, where the design is visibly shifted away from the center of the coin, sometimes resulting in a crescent-shaped blank area on the edge, depending on how dramatic the error is and how much of the design remains visible. These coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s, especially if the Queen's portrait or lyre bird design is still recognizable. Similarly, cud errors, which occur when part of the die breaks off and causes a blob of metal to appear somewhere on the coin's surface, often near the rim, are also highly collectible. A noticeable cud on a 10-cent coin could push its value up to $100 or more, depending on size and placement. Another fascinating variety worth discussing is the 2001 Centenary of Federation 10-cent coin, which, unlike the standard lyrebird design, features a special emblem representing the state of New South Wales as part of the Federation celebration. While these coins were released into general circulation, some versions, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, have begun to gain collector interest and can sell for $10 to $30, sometimes more if found in mint rolls or mint sets. Keep an eye out for any 10-cent coin that looks different from the usual design. Australia has periodically issued commemorative versions, and their scarcity or historical context can add to their value. Now let's talk about how to evaluate the condition of your coins, because even a rare variety won't fetch top dollar unless it's in good shape. Collectors use a grading scale that ranges from poor all the way up to mint state or proof, and learning to assess your coins can make a big difference in understanding their market value. You should look for wear on the highest points of the design: the Queen's hair, the lyrebird's feathers, and the lettering on both sides. A coin in fine or very fine condition will show moderate wear but have most details intact. A coin graded extremely fine will have only slight signs of circulation and retain much of its original luster. For coins with absolutely no wear and full mint shine, they may be graded as uncirculated or mint state, and these can sell at much higher prices. If you think you found something special, you might want to consider submitting the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, both of which are globally recognized and can authenticate and encapsulate your coin with a certified grade that greatly boosts resale confidence. Now, a common question I get is, where do you actually find these coins? Besides checking your change, don't overlook coin fairs, garage sales, estate auctions, online marketplaces like eBay, and even bank rolls. Yes, some collectors still visit banks and request coin rolls to search through them for hidden gems. You'd be surprised how many valuable coins are still out there in circulation simply because people don't know what to look for. Also, consider joining local or online numismatic communities, where collectors share photos, offer advice, and even trade or sell coins. Facebook groups and forums like Coin Community or Australian Coin Collecting Blog are excellent starting points. But as you get more involved, it's important to beware of counterfeits. Unfortunately, rare coins can attract forgeries, so always buy from reputable sellers and do your homework, learning about die markers, tiny details unique to legitimate coins can help you avoid fakes. Another thing to keep in mind is how storage can affect your coin's long-term value. Coins should always be stored in non-PVC plastic holders, coin flips, or archival quality albums to avoid corrosion or toning, and never clean your coins, even if they look dirty. Cleaning them almost always reduces their value. Finally, if you're really passionate about the hobby, consider getting a coin loop, a digital scale, and a basic reference guide like the Renwick's Australian Coin and Banknote Values book, which is a go-to resource for Aussie collectors. All these tools will help you evaluate and protect your collection more effectively. So, as you can see, finding a valuable 10-cent coin isn't just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, staying curious and paying attention to small details that most people miss. Whether it's a rare mint variety like the 1966 Wavy Baseline, a fascinating era coin, or a high-grade commemorative issue, there's real money hiding in your loose change, and part of the thrill is the hunt. Now that you've learned how to identify valuable 10-cent coins and assess their condition, it's time to talk about what happens once you actually find one, or a few, and want to sell or trade them. Understanding the market for collectible coins is just as important as spotting rare varieties because how, when, and where you sell your coin can dramatically affect its final value. Let's start with your options. The most common selling platforms for Australian coins include eBay, where thousands of coins are listed daily, specialist numismatic dealers who buy and sell coins professionally, and our coin shows or fairs, where you can meet other collectors and possibly negotiate directly. If you're new to selling, eBay is a good place to start, but be sure to list with clear photos, showing both sides of the coin under good lighting, and mention specific details like errors, year, condition, and any certification. Be honest in your description. Seasoned buyers will know what to look for, and misleading listings can backfire with negative feedback or returns. Speaking of photos, having a digital microscope, or at least a high-resolution camera, will help you show close-up details like the wavy baseline, cuds, or die cracks that truly distinguish your coin. Now, if you have a coin graded by a third-party service like PCGS or NGC, that grading not only assures buyers of the coin's authenticity and condition, but also allows it to sell for a significant premium compared to ungraded coins. For example, an ungraded 1966 Wavy Baseline coin might fetch $300 to $400, while a graded MS64 or higher can jump to $1,000 pluses simply because of the trust factor. So if you're serious about selling valuable coins, professional grading might be worth the investment, especially for rare or high-grade pieces. But what if you're not quite ready to sell? That's perfectly fine. In fact, many collectors prefer to build a collection. Over time, keeping rare coins safe while their value appreciates. For storage, use acid-free flips or coin holders and keep them in a dry, stable environment. Humidity and air pollutants can cause toning or corrosion. If you plan on passing your collection on to a family member or even auctioning it in the future, documentation is key. Create a digital or printed inventory listing each coin, the year, variety, condition, and estimated value. This not only helps keep your collection organized, but also adds legitimacy and provenance, which can increase buyer confidence. Another important topic is understanding current trends in the numismatic market. For instance, the 1966 Wavy Baseline coin has seen rising interest in recent years due to growing awareness and social media exposure. Coin influencers on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook are introducing a new generation to the hobby, and demand is increasing for once-overlooked varieties like the 1981 Canadian 10-cent and 1995 double bar. Keeping an eye on what collectors are currently hunting for can help you time your sales or decide which coins to keep an eye out for. It's also useful to study past auction results. Sites like Noble Numismatics and Downey's Auctions publish their past sales results online, giving you a real-world sense of what coins are actually selling for versus just asking prices. Also, consider joining collector communities or subscribing to newsletters from Australian numismatic sites to get updates on rare finds, market shifts, and new varieties being discovered. One overlooked area that can offer surprising value is bulk lots. Sometimes, sellers on eBay or at markets will offer large bags or boxes of unsorted coins. While it's a gamble, these lots occasionally contain hidden treasures missed by others. More than a few collectors have discovered valuable errors or rare varieties in bulk lots purchased for mere dollars. If you have the patience to sift through hundreds of coins, it can be a worthwhile way to build your collection and maybe strike gold, figuratively speaking, of course. Let's not forget, there's also an educational element to collecting coins. You're not just gathering metal, you're preserving a piece of history, learning about minting technology, and even tracing Australia's cultural and political evolution through its coinage. So whether you're in it for the money, the history, or the sheer fun of the hunt, the world of 10-cent coins offers something for everyone. And remember, some of the most valuable finds aren't just those with big price tags, but those that introduce you to the thrill of discovery. In the next and final part of this series, we'll be covering how to protect yourself from counterfeit. Coins is tools every collector should have, and the future outlook for Australian decimal coin collecting, especially as certain coins are withdrawn from circulation or replaced in design, potentially creating new rarities overnight. We're going to wrap things up with some essential insights for anyone serious about collecting or selling valuable Australian 10-cent coins. One of the most important topics we need to discuss is counterfeit detection. As coin collecting becomes more popular and valuable varieties become better known, forgeries are, unfortunately, becoming more common. Some counterfeiters focus on high-value coins like the 1966 Wavy Baseline 10-cent, attempting to fake the wave in the base of the 2 by altering normal coins using tools or acid. But a trained eye or a good loupe can often spot these forgeries by checking the sharpness of the design, inconsistencies in the fields, or irregularities in the font and alignment. Real Wavy Baseline coins have a very specific curvature that can be matched against high-quality reference images from reputable sources. If you're unsure, always compare your coin against one certified by a third-party grading company. Speaking of which, having the right tools as a collector makes all the difference. At a minimum, every collector should invest in a 10x magnifying loupe, a soft pair of cotton gloves, a digital scale for checking coin weight, and a digital caliper to measure diameter and thickness. These tools help you identify errors, determine authenticity, and ensure you're handling your coins in a way that won't damage them. It's also smart to use a non-PVC album or individual coin holders to store your coins safely over time. Exposure to moisture, air, or even human oils can cause toning, tarnish, or spotting, which decreases both aesthetic and market value. Now, let's look ahead. What's the future of Australian decimal coin collecting? Especially when it comes to 10-cent pieces. As Australia continues to modernize its currency and move closer to a cashless society, it's entirely possible that low-denomination coins like the 5-cent and eventually the 10-cent could be phased out, as has already happened in countries like New Zealand and Canada. If and when that occurs, we may see a significant shift in the numismatic market, with existing coins from certain years or varieties suddenly increasing in demand due to limited remaining stock. In addition, future commemorative releases, like special mint marks, privy marks, or limited edition sets, will continue to attract collectors. That's why it's wise to stay up to date with official mint releases from the Royal Australian Mint E, which often announces unique issues through their website or annual catalogs. Subscribing to their updates or checking in regularly can help you snag rare coins right as they're released, often at face value or close to it. Also, watch out for new varieties that are still being discovered. Believe it or not, even today, collectors are identifying previously undocumented errors and die varieties in circulated coins that have been around for years. Just because something isn't famous yet doesn't mean it isn't valuable. Sometimes, being the first to identify a variety and publish your find can bring recognition and significant interest from the coin community. In fact, some of the most exciting parts of numismatics are these discoveries, where keen-eyed hobbyists contribute directly to the knowledge base and shape how future collectors value coins. That brings us to an important point. If you want to take your coin collecting to the next level, education is key, y'all. Pick up a recent edition of the Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values Guide. Join a coin club, many of which meet both online and in person, or take part in online discussions where new finds and questions are shared. Sites like the Australian Coin Collecting Blog or forums such as Coin Community can help you identify rarities, connect with experienced collectors, and even sell or trade pieces securely. Remember, coin collecting is not just about profit, it's about learning, history, and being part of a community. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply enjoying the hunt, knowing how to verify, store, and evaluate your coins empowers you to make smarter decisions. And don't be discouraged if you haven't found a jackpot coin yet. The most valuable collections are built over time, one careful discovery at a time. To recap what we've covered in this series, we explored key valuable 10-cent coins like the 1966 Wavy Baseline, the 1981 Canadian Mint variety, and the 1995 Double Bar. We learned how to spot mint errors, understand coin grading, evaluate condition, and sell through platforms like eBay or to professional dealers. We also looked at the tools and storage solutions collectors should use, the growing importance of counterfeit detection, and what the future of 10-cent coins might hold in a rapidly evolving digital economy. So, the next time you get change at a cafe, a supermarket, or pull coins out of your old drawer, remember, those 10-cent pieces aren't always just small change. They might be miniature pieces of history, worth far more than their face value to the right collector. Thanks so much for watching this full series on valuable Australian 10-cent coins. If you've enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your own coin finds or questions in the comments below. Happy collecting, and may your next coin be a rare gem hiding in plain sight.